Okay, so maybe I've been known to exaggerate a bit in the past. Superheroes are terrifying? Maybe not. Finding Nemo is a horror movie? Debatable. The entire gaming industry is riding on the success of Hogwarts Legacy. Fact! 100% true!
All true!
This is not a drill! Which is unfortunate, considering that the Harry Potter name has, seen some better days. In fact, it's actually kind of baffling that it's taken this long for somebody to make a Harry Potter RPG. But here it is, coming out in a post-Twitter world, and now everybody's confused about whether or not it's morally justified to be excited about it. But honestly, the weird timing of this game's release isn't just strange, it's also what makes this game's existence so exciting. Hogwarts Legacy is a single-player only, open-world RPG, set in an established universe with an emphasis on story and immersion. Do you guys realize how great and rare that is? Now look, I'm about as casual of a Harry Potter fan as they come. Like, so much so that The Goblet of Fire is my favorite movie in the series. Apparently that's a controversial opinion, but I don't know why. It's about a goddamn wizard tournament, and I refuse to let anyone convince me that that isn't rad. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm not like a die-hard Harry Potter fan. What I am a fan of, though, is exploring popular IPs through different mediums. Oh man, I eat that stuff up. Alcohol, marijuana, no thanks. A passionate companion piece to an existing IP is the only high I need. I didn't party a lot as a kid, but the best is when a video game comes out that's so confident, so passionately developed, that it's able to give you an entirely unique experience within a familiar world. Video games allow you to immerse yourself in a setting in a way no other medium can. It's one thing to play out familiar events that happened in a beloved series, but another to experience a world you know with a story you don't. The Batman Arkham games, I believe, are a perfect example of this. These were incredible, story-driven games rooted in familiar Batman lore, but telling their own unique story. These games were so confident in that story that they killed the Joker in the second one, and everyone loved it. They loved it because it proved the story wasn't afraid to take risks, that it was willing to give people a Batman narrative they'd never seen before. But most importantly, they loved it because it wasn't just shock value. It made sense within the game's themes and within the greater context of Batman as a whole. On top of that, these games were littered with Easter eggs and moments that had no other purpose than to immerse yourself in this incredibly detailed world. You could feel the passion behind them. It felt like they were made for Batman fans, by Batman fans, all while feeling welcoming to newcomers because their stories held up on their own merits. This is exactly why Gotham Knights bombed so hard. Everybody always makes fun of the time IGN praised Arkham City for making you feel like Batman, but that's why those games were so successful. Arkham City makes you feel like Batman, but Gotham Knights doesn't make you feel like anything. The Arkham games tried to deliver on the Batman fantasy, while Gotham Knights just tried to be Destiny. Hey, Danny, I thought this was a video about Hogwarts Legacy, I hear you cry. Well, I'm getting to Hogwarts Legacy! Since Arkham Asylum, there's been a string of games that understood players' desire to be fully immersed in an already existing world, while also engaging in a unique story. Shadow of Mordor, Alien Isolation, Insomniac Spider-Man, the Cybertron games. Oh my god, the Cybertron games were so good, Activision won't even let you play them anymore. Why aren't these games on Steam? Where'd they go? These are games that knew it wasn't enough to have a game set in a familiar world. They also had to deliver on the fantasy of their respective properties. Alien Isolation makes you feel vulnerable as you're stalked by this single predator. Insomniac Spider-Man makes swinging through New York feel fun and liberating. The Cybertron games let you go from running around as a robot to driving around as a car at the press of a button. So, does Hogwarts Legacy deliver on the Harry Potter fantasy? Dog, that's all it does. Detailed character customization and the ability to choose your own house. Multiple classes to attend to upgrade specific skills and attributes. A fully explorable world where you can fly on broomsticks, tame wild beasts, and uncover secrets. The ability to use Avada Kedavra despite being 14 years old. Now, the game isn't out yet at the time of recording this, so I have no idea how successful it'll be at delivering on any of these aspects. Oh, but Danny, why didn't you just wait until the game was released to drop a video, rather than speculating on it now? I'll get into why I chose to release this video before the game's release in a bit, but for now, let me just say, in the case of Hogwarts Legacy, it's sort of the thought that counts. Even if the story isn't very good, which would be a massive bummer, all this game really needs to do is make you feel like a Hogwarts student. Because that's all fans ever really wanted. You could ask anyone on the street what Hogwarts house they are, and have a high chance of receiving a genuine answer. It's amazing that this game doesn't have you playing as Harry or Hermione or any already established character, because nobody who likes Harry Potter wants to imagine themselves as Harry. The Batman fantasy is to be Batman, but the Harry Potter fantasy is to be a student at Hogwarts. What classes would you take if you were a wizard? Oh, I love plants. I'd probably focus on botany. Defense against the dark arts seems cool. I'm gonna specialize in that. Harry Potter was so popular because its premise had just enough variety and depth that anyone could have fun imagining what type of wizard they would be. So the fact that this game focuses on personalization and customization is genius. Having this game take place 100 years before Harry was even born is great too, because it means the game isn't beholden to the main canon. The story can take risks, it can develop characters in exciting and unexpected ways. It's a familiar world with unlimited possibilities. Now, like I said, this game would have made a lot more sense coming out 10 years ago at the height of Harry Potter's popularity, rather than at the height of its infamy. But the fact that it's coming out now is what makes its possible success so exciting. Games based off of popular IPs that aren't just shameless cash grabs are so rare that I honestly can't think of any others than the few that I've already mentioned. This game's success could not only show studios that there's a demand for AAA experiences based within popular properties, but also that the property doesn't have to be popular right now to be a success. Imagine exploring an open-world Avatar: The Last Airbender game, where you play as a past Avatar we've never heard of before. You travel the globe, mastering the elements, meeting new characters, and learning new things about a world you've already loved for years. Imagine playing a Percy Jackson game where you create your own character, choosing which godly powers you want. Imagine a Terminator game that takes its story and set pieces as seriously as the original films. James Cameron's Avatar is being turned into a game by Ubisoft, which is great, but unfortunately, James Cameron's Avatar is being turned into a game by Ubisoft, which is awful. Oh, but Danny, why would any studio want to release a game based off of a currently unpopular franchise? Well, you got me there. Guess I'd better just wrap up this video. Just kidding, I've got the answer. Sure, franchises' popularity comes and goes throughout the years, but it's typically because of the quality of the property's content coming out at the time. The Terminator movies didn't stop being profitable because people just stopped liking Terminator. They stopped being profitable because the movies stopped being good. There are beloved franchises out there with hungry fan bases dying to be satiated, which could mean massive success for these types of games. Avatar: The Last Airbender fans have been dying for new content for years. If they announced an Avatar game that actually looked like the developers cared about the world, you would have tons of Avatar fans buying it just to get more content in a franchise they thought was dead. Now, unfortunately, the Harry Potter IP didn't lose popularity because subsequent projects stopped being good. I mean, they totally did, but that's not the main reason. The IP lost popularity because the creator had publicly revealed herself to be transphobic, and shockingly enough, people don't like that. Now, I haven't really kept up with all of the news surrounding J.K. Rowling because I don't really care too much about the ramblings of an ignorant old woman. And I also don't really have that deep of a connection to the Harry Potter IP to begin with. But if you haven't picked up on it by now, this video isn't really about Hogwarts Legacy so much as it's about the type of game that it is. There are arguments that say Harry Potter has impacted so many people and become so large that it's almost become its own entity, and arguments saying that supporting anything related to Harry Potter is directly supporting Rowling. It's definitely a complicated issue, and without a doubt the most complex death of the author debate that I have ever seen. So because it's so complicated, this video isn't in support of Hogwarts Legacy specifically, but more so in support of video game companies giving existing IPs to developers that treat them with respect and passion. Which brings me to why I decided to release this video now rather than waiting for the game to come out. If Hogwarts Legacy comes out and it's a Gotham Knights situation where nobody likes it or cares about it after a week, well then there goes my audience and reason to talk about these types of games that I love so much. But releasing it now kind of ensures that this video maintains relevancy, whether or not the game's a success. Do I think we'll stop getting games like Arkham City and Insomniac Spider-Man if Hogwarts Legacy fails? No. Do I think we'll get more if it succeeds? Maybe, but probably not. The video game industry is sort of known for its unwillingness to learn anything, so I'm not gonna hold my breath waiting for Rockstar Games to make an Inception RPG. I just wanted to take this time to talk about my love for these types of games and hope for a future where they aren't so few and far between. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like and a comment below. It really helps out the channel a ton. And make sure you check out some of the other videos on my page. Let me know in the comments what other movies, games, or TV shows you want to see me cover in the future, and I will see you guys next time.